Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lisa, and today I'm going to show you how I made these fun sheets. I am going to create my own foam stamps. You think, well, how can I create foam stamps? I'll tell you, it's pretty easy. All right, let me show you what I got for you. All right, the first thing I have, and you'll find this on my Ko-Fi account, is this sheet of shapes. They're just random shapes, things that I thought could be fun to make stamps out of, to cut apart. By all means, this is not a be-all, end-all. When I show you this process, you can make your own shapes, but I'm giving this to you in my Ko-Fi account that you can download and kind of have some pre-made shapes to start with. So that is that. And let me show you some of my shapes here that I got to get to this point. All right, so I started out with this one, which is this one, and I attached it to a piece of plastic. This was actually from my Tim Holtz distress color crayons. They had these hard plastic sheets in there, and I thought this would be great for it. They weren't easy to grab. I added a little tab to it. It kind of works. It wasn't the greatest to do it, so I'm like, well, let's figure out something better to do. So the next thing I did is I went to cut the spiral, and I did 2 layers of these foam sheets. Oh, I forgot to see what these foam sheets are. Where's my little pile? There it is. Okay, so these foam sheets, I actually got this from Michael's, and it had 40 pieces. I grabbed the neutral pack because I thought if this is going to get dirty from stamping, I didn't really want bright color, pretty colors necessarily. But I do know when I was there getting those, there was a pack of, I think, pastels and a pack of brights craft foam. You could probably go buy some individual sheets too. That pack, I believe, $7.99 or $9.99 for the 40 sheets. I can't remember. If I can remember to look it up, I'll put it on the screen. There was a coupon also for Michael's, so it was $6 or $7 probably in the end for all those sheets. So I will have foam stamps forever, basically. So, but I go back to this. So I originally thought I would take 2 of the same and cut 2 layers together, and it worked. They aren't even. You can tell there's some light stuff in there. I added some glue to it. I got some glue on there. It ends up still working out okay, but I did glue 2 shapes together on a piece of thicker, a box, some cardstock. So I'm like, well, that's okay. And I did a second one where I cut it together for this leaf shape. This leaf shape, cut out the center here. This works pretty good. It's got a nice handle to it with the cardboard to be able to stamp, so I liked it. But I thought, do I really need 2 layers for it? So I tried because it's hard to cut both layers, like I said, here together to get them to be exactly alike. Not that the second layer really gets any ink, but yeah. So I wanted to see if 1 layer would work, and 1 layer does work. Here it is. It's a little harder to push in there. You get a little bit more of the color of the stain around it because it is farther down. So 1 is okay, but I think the sweet spot is putting 2 layers of foam. But I didn't want 2 layers of foam that were cut exactly, so I went to this process of cutting out the item and just putting a big chunk behind it. Now, when I originally started out, I also wanted to say that I was gluing them down. I tried Fabri-Tac. Wasn't working very well on foam, and I probably should have looked up what is good glue for foam, but that would involve me slowing down and not being patient, which is not my strong suit. So I tried the Fabri-Tac, not working. I tried some of this stick, not really working. I did try some of the art glitter, and it worked. It took a while to dry, but I didn't want to waste too much art glitter. So my next thought was to use my infamous carpet tape, which I really got to go order some because I'm definitely getting low on this now. Carpet tape is so sticky, it's going to stick to anything. So if you got the carpet tape for some of my other projects with the stamping to make the, like the stamping, another reason to use the carpet tape. So you can kind of see it, they're shiny. It's a little sticky still, but I think as it goes, it'll become less sticky. So I put a rough shape below it, put the carpet tape between it, attach that. I'll show you how I did it. I have a carpet tape between that and the cardboard, and this ain't going anywhere. And And then this one, which was kind of like my most perfect one. It still had the tape between there, but it is 2 layers. It's got the shape behind it that's full. I got the shape that's cut out from the stamps, carpet tape, piece of, this is actually a priority box, but it makes great stamping. So with that said, let me just show you how I do this. Now, this is a full sheet, but I've already started cutting a sheet. Got a little ink on there, but I was thinking about doing this one. So the way I did it was just rough cut out the shape. They are in 2.5 inch squares to start, so they're pretty reasonably sized, but not too big. All right, so I just have a rough cut piece of foam, and I'm going to just so this piece of paper sticks on there, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue right in the center just to hold it in place so I can cut it. All right. This one I would decide to cut because I wanted to show you what my thought is on how this looks. But you can see how these have the circle on there. It's kind of similar to this one where there's a circle and the leaves are pressed apart. That obviously is like a foliage, a star, like a burst like from comic books. And then this is another zigzag, but tinier ones compared to this one, which was bigger zigzags that had just like a W, and this is like a W plus some. For that stuff, but I just wanted to cut this one because I want to show you what it looks like. So with that said, I found my little scissors, because I found it easier to cut with the little scissors, except for maybe the big stuff. So I'm going to cut around, and what's nice, it doesn't have to be very precise. It really is a guide, and these are a little bit more folksy, folk arty to make precision. Now, if you really want to, you can cut it with an X-Acto blade. I did cut the inside of this with an X-Acto blade. So craft foam does cut with a blade if you really want to get precise. So all I'm going to do is just roughly follow the outside lines of this. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. I just don't want to go too far past it, because if there's a line cut in the foam, you're going to see it. I'd rather cut a little short and then come back if I have to. But again, perfection is not the end goal on these. So yeah, so if you got a thought on some sort of shape you would like to make a stamp from, you could just even cut randomly, like, you know, I cut snowflakes and just go zigzags and circles and whatever you want to do, squares. But I just wanted to give with that sheet just a little bit of a start for, and the reason I had started this is because I don't have a lot of flower stamps. Not that these are perfect flowers, but I have a lot of flower stamps, so I thought, oh, I can kind of make my own. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to cut the inside flower, and we're going to hold on to those because those are still part of it. Very folk art, not primeval. Primitive. Primeval, I think, is a little bit more sinister. I think the hardest part is probably, you know, you can cut, sometimes you can cut easier going in one direction, like pulling it that way. It's harder to pull from the other direction. Okay. All right, so I'm going to take this, I'm going to very carefully try to pull this piece that I glued on there off. And it can leave a little bit of sticky stuff behind, but I found out that usually I was able to get it off without too much of a problem. Originally, when I started doing these, I would glue the paper fully down so it didn't shift. Hence, this one still has some glue on there. I'm trying to get it off. It just makes the texture on the stamp. So I'm not totally mad with it, but if you don't want anything like that, least amount of glue as possible. I did cut one of them, I think, without any glue at all, and it just shifted a little bit, but I think, again, it is meant to be just Primitive. All right, so I'm going to take the base. You can see where I had put probably has some glue on there already. And I'm going to put a piece of carpet tape down. And I am going to figure out, like if that goes, I do want a little, one more little piece there. Okay. And I don't think it, there goes the tape. I don't think it matters as much if there's two pieces of tape there as not. Okay, so we're gonna just peel this carpet tape that I've stuck on here off. Now, is this cheaper than buying foam stamps? Probably not, but I am getting what I want. All right, so I think this has a little piece of paper left from it, so I think I'm going to flip it this way. And we're going to put it down. And then we're going to put these, and these were just meant to give a little space between them. Kind of be careful while you put it down, because like once it sticks, it's stuck. Especially with foam, trying to pull it up, it's going to rip. Okay, so you can cut it out two ways. You can cut it out square to be able to put it on something, a piece of cardboard, or cut it more to the shape. And I'm going to try to cut it more to the shape because it gets rid of some of this excess stickiness that's on here, as you can tell. That stuff is sticky. And again, this background does not have to be pretty in any respect. It is just to help it give a second layer to raise the stamp up from the background. Because I felt that the one layer was a little too hard. So that's the way. Now, there is ways to unsticky this. I know you can add like baby powder to it and or cornstarch, something like that to it. But I really think over time and dust, it is going to fix itself. All right, so we have our foam stack taken care of. Next, we're going to attach it to a piece of cardboard. So I find it easiest to put your tape onto the back of this. All right, so we're gonna get a square and we're gonna put it on there. Now it's sticking off a little bit, but that is fine because after we peel this off, we can take this and fold it back onto itself, or we could try to take a piece of tape or scissors and cut it off, but I think it should be fine. And then we're gonna just, I'm not gonna put it right on the corner because I do want a place to grab. So I'm gonna shift it in a bit and I'm gonna stick it down. All right, now you can cut these square, you can cut them to be a shape. I found to keep them a little bit more square is probably better. Have something to grab onto extra, but if you just wanted to, you know, smooth the edges a little bit so they don't get caught on things, kind of corner around them, make them look fancy. There you go. All right, so let's show how this is gonna work. Now I'm just grabbing these sheets because I had them handy, but I like the colors on them too. So let's get my stamping pad here. And let's do some distressed inks. Now, the first one I ever stamped on these, I used my VersaFine Clair, and the foam is absorbent, and the color really took a long time to come off, and really also sort of didn't come off. It stained it black, as well as this one stained it. It really didn't totally come off. I think there's probably even some more. No, I think I got it all out finally. I found that the distressed inks were a little bit better. They came out a little, with the wipes, came out a little bit better. All right, so I haven't stamped with blue yet, so let's do some blue flowers. And then I'm going to show you one other thing after this. Since I picked the darker color, sometimes it's a little hard to see where the color went to, but you can usually tell if you've missed something. But again, if you missed it, it's kind of back to primitive, and you're good to go. So you got it, and can't really see where it goes, but again, this is more of, these are stamps that don't really have a right side upside down, and as you can see, they hold a lot of ink. So you can stamp quite a few generations of this. Let me clean it off. And let me show something else. So we can clean it off, and there's a lot of ink that comes off of these. And put a little stamp on there just to make sure the rest comes off. All right, now I just want to show something else here. So this was cut out just like this. I took a stylus and I drew a circle on there, and then I drew kind of sort of veining just to give it a bit of fun. And I did it also with this one where I just drew a circle. The harder you press, you can get a deeper groove. I pressed kind of lightly on this just to give a circle, and I could do the same with this if I wanted to, you know, outline it, give it a little bit more definition, maybe put a line through there, just to give it a little bit of personality, or again, keep it like this. And what's nice about the fact that I've got a pile of foam that's that thick, I can make two versions of it. I can make this one that is plain, and I can make a second one where I put some lines in there. I mean, these are really pretty flowers. I really like how these turned out on their own. But I wanted to show you one thing that happened, I noticed with this. And I'm going to use the yellow. Let's use mustard seed. I had just stamped the center of this after I put the line in there. And I went to stamp it to see how the embossing worked. And it was like a little sun. Like, how fun is that? I'm like, well, that's cool. So I also decided that, well, why can't I do two colors? So I did the sort of sun in the center, and then we'll do a little bit of red on the outside. You can see how it's getting the color because there's one layer on there. So I'll probably remake this one to have it on 2 layers. And so I'm going to take that, and it's a very distinctive look. But then I took the thing, wet it a bit. Look how much is coming off of there. And I re-stamped it on one of these because I was trying to get it off. I didn't clean it as well as I would. But I went and stamped it again, and it gave a much softer look. See how it's more blended? Because it's sort of, I think it's because it sort of absorbs this color. It's holding on to it a little bit more than maybe other stamps would, even when you write it off a little bit. If you don't clean it off a lot, you still get some marks, which I think that's a kind of a fun benefit to doing these, because look at that. Very cool. Very, very cool. Okay. I've been playing with these a lot, and my hands are filthy. So if you don't want filthy, I would suggest gloves with this process. But I still think these are fun, and I can't wait to make some more. And I also have another idea for these to be put on something. So think I'm going to try to play with that next. But yeah, make your own stamps. Lesson learned. And again, however you want to make them, glue them, use carpet tape. Actually look up what kind of glue is best to glue foam together with. That works. I'm pretty sure this was glued with the art glitter glue, and it is on there good. This has no, I can see the glue seeping through a little bit. This was all art glitter glue, I believe. And it's stuck there. It's good now. It just took some time to wait. But if you don't have time to wait and you really want to just play, the carpet tape is very, very fun. Get yourself a stylus, make some lines, make some grooves, have a little bit of fun, and again, make your own shapes. Just cut something randomly out with a couple sheets of foam and some cardboard. I love it. Okay, well, that is going to be it for me today. I hope you like this idea, and I hope you can run with it and have some fun with it. And I really think this is going to get added to that rainbow journal that I have that'll be coming up soon. Because what a fun page is that, right? I love it. I love it. Okay, that's going to be it for me today. Thanks so much for stopping by. And as usual, I hope you all have a wonderful and creative day. Bye for now.